America looked like a rising empire. New inventions, new cars, new dreams. People believed these good days would never end. Banks were giving loans easily. Companies were showing unbelievable profits. Everyone believed money was like an endless river. But behind this bright future, a dark truth was slowly taking shape. Wall Street was rising, but it wasn't natural. It was a blown-up balloon, growing bigger and thinner. Insiders knew it. Politicians sensed it. But ordinary people, they were blind. A few powerful people quietly bet that the market would crash one day. They had the information that common people didn't have, and they used that information to prepare for something massive. The outcome would be so terrifying, no one could imagine it. What you're about to learn today is something most people never dare to talk about. But today, I'll tell you everything, without hiding a single detail. Watch the video till the end, and subscribe to the channel. Because with research this deep, no one else tells you the truth the way we do. Subscribe to the channel. Otherwise, someday, you might not find me on YouTube again. Now, the real story begins. After those silent cracks in the stock market, came the biggest crash in history. October 24th, 1920. The first shock. Stock prices suddenly dropped. People began to panic, but Wall Street told everyone, everything is fine. But everything was not fine. Not even close. Just a few days later, came that terrifying day, Black Tuesday. The stock market collapsed like an explosion. Billions of dollars vanished in minutes. Brokers were screaming. Telephone lines were burning. Families prayed. Some people, in fear and despair, took extreme steps. Newspapers showed only chaos. But what they didn't say, what they hid, was this. Some people were prepared long before the fall, because while America was crying, those secret investors turned the destruction into opportunity. They bought valuable companies for almost nothing. Factories, railroads, mines, entire industries. They scooped up at dirt-cheap prices. Millions were on the streets, homeless, hungry, jobless, and the powerful ones. They quietly built a new empire. People stood in food lines. Children wore clothes made from potato sacks. Mothers cried silently. But inside luxury hotels, behind closed doors, secret meetings were happening. Bankers, industrialists, politicians. Together they decided what the new America would look like. There are no official records of these meetings, but historians say these meetings reshaped the power of the Federal Reserve and the modern banking system. Thousands of banks collapsed, but the big banks, they survived, merged, and became even stronger. Many say the Great Depression was the easiest way to wipe out small banks, so a few financial giants could take over the entire economy. By 1931, the crisis spread worldwide. Europe shook. Germany fell to its knees, one by one, like dominoes. Economies collapsed. Then came help from the same nations and groups that profited from the fall. They gave loans, but with conditions: control, influence, power. In this way, the Great Depression quietly changed the world's power map. Ordinary people walked miles, searching for work. Many fathers left home and never got a chance to return. Children dropped out of school. Families lost everything. The American dream turned to dust. But through all this suffering, economic elites kept writing their new chapter. Franklin D. Roosevelt announced the New Deal. New roads, new bridges, new laws. But the question is, who shaped these laws? Who had the most influence? Researchers say Even behind the New Deal, the biggest financial groups profited the most. The government gained more control. Banks gained stronger structure. The Federal Reserve became more powerful than ever. The Great Depression ended. America rebuilt itself. But the system created during that time has never changed. A system where money is concentrated in the hands of a few, where the market can be changed with a single decision. Some truths came out, some were buried, and some were erased so deeply that we can never know them. But one truth cannot be denied. The Great Depression didn't just break the economy, it decided who would control the world. Every recession today, every market crash, every financial crisis carries the same shadow of 1929. Is it coincidence? Or an invisible plan that activates whenever power needs to shift? Maybe our question shouldn't be, how did the Great Depression happen? But rather, who profited from it? Because behind every disaster in history, there are two sides: the victims and the architects. The Great Depression changed America forever, but the truth hidden behind it still lives in the shadows. And maybe some truths were never meant to be revealed. But there is one more truth people hardly discuss. The Great Depression didn't just happen once. It keeps repeating in different forms. 2000, 2008, 20. Every crash follows the same pattern. Ordinary people lose. Powerful groups win because they know what's coming long before it arrives. For them, a crash is not a tragedy. It's an opportunity. While the world panics, they buy companies, buy land, buy assets for almost nothing. And after the crisis, they become even stronger. Just like 1929. Just like every major crash in history. So ask yourself, are these collapses accidental or carefully timed resets to shift power from many to a few? Look around today. A single interest rate change, a single announcement, can shake the whole world, and the people who control these decisions are very few. They decide who gets saved, who gets crushed, and who rises from the ashes, exactly like 1929. So before the video ends, remember this: crashes don't destroy wealth. They transfer it from millions of people to the hands of the elite. And unless we understand this, history will keep repeating again and again, because the biggest truths are never in the headlines. They are hidden in the shadows where real power lives.